Hi everyone, and welcome to my review of Wonder. This comes from director Stephen Chomsky, who in 2012 gave us one of the better films of that year with The Perks of Being a Wallflower, a movie that he wrote the book for initially, then wrote the screenplay and directed the film himself, and it was just a wonderful film. I really loved it. And so when I heard that he has kind of a new movie that's coming out this year, I really wanted to see it. And then I saw the trailer and I really wanted to see the film. The cast looked great, the subject matter was interesting, very real and relatable, and a nice break from all the superhero movies and the Star Wars movies and the big special effects and those big blockbusters that we've gotten this year. And I want to see a nice, small, simple, sweet film that is for everyone, for the family, that hopefully teaches something about ourselves and something that we can all get into and enjoy. That's what I was hoping for with Wonder. Hopefully that was the case. I know this movie's been out for a few weeks now. Finally had a chance to go see it. Very excited. What is the movie about? Who's in it? Well, it is based on a book, though Stephen Chomsky did not write the book. Though the film is based on a book, it is a very real and relatable story. We all have gone through this in some way, even though we're not dealing with it the same way that this character deals with it. It's scary when you go to school for the first time, when you're leaving your parents, when you're leaving the comfort of your own home and going out into the world just a little bit and dealing with people that you don't know if they'll like you or not, and of course you don't know if they'll like you or not. And so it's a very scary situation for anybody, and so that part of it is very relatable. But in this case, the movie's centered around a kid named Augie, who's played by Jacob Tremblay from The Room, not The Room, Room, 2015's The Room, not 2003's The Room, Chad. Okay, so with this movie, little Augie is this kid. He's optimistic, he's cheerful, he's positive, but of course he's aware that he does look different, that he was born a certain way, that he has some sort of condition on his face and he's had surgeries trying to fix it, but it doesn't let him control his life entirely. He does love Star Wars, he loves space, he loves a lot of things that a lot of kids love during that time in your life and go on to love more and maybe even explore it more as they get older. He has parents that love each other. He has a sister that loves him. You know, it's this really sweet, kind family unit. But of course, now he finally wants to step out of that. He's been home taught for many years, and now he wants to step out and he wants to go to school for the first time. And this is his journey. We get to experience his journey as he goes out into the world and finds himself, hopefully, in the process, and hopefully makes some friends. And definitely feels more confident in himself and not care entirely what the world thinks. I love this movie. I think this movie is fabulous and wonderful. It's not perfect. There are things that I did not like about the film, but overall, I really loved this wonderful coming-of-age story, a movie that the whole family can enjoy. Kids and adults can relate to it because we've all been through this situation in one way or another with bullies and teachers and just in a situation like this. We go through these kind of situations throughout our whole life. But of course, it's a little different for Augie because of what he's dealing with, his disability. Though I don't think it's a really strong disability in the scheme of things. It's just, you know, he's got a wonderful personality, he's got a wonderful presence, and you can thank that to the amazing acting from Jacob Tremblay, of course, from 2015's Room, where we were all introduced to this guy. And I really hope this kid, if he does not have a strong career, or what I should say, goes on to do something different with his life, I hope he's successful, and I hope he changes the world in his own way. But if he stays as an actor, I hope we get to see him grow and develop, because I think he's one of the best child actors ever in the business. I loved him in Room, I loved him in this, and I just pray that he is successful. Whatever adventure he goes on with his life, I hope he's very successful, whether he continues to be in front of the camera or behind the camera. The rest of the cast is really wonderful as well. I felt like Owen Wilson, who plays the father, and Julia Roberts are very sweet together. They felt like a real couple, a couple that love each other, and it was just nice to see Hollywood tackle a married couple that actually stuck together and loved each other and loved their children, and their children loved them. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. Of course, this movie has, the characters do go through their ups and downs, whether they're dealing with bullies or with love for the first time, or they're, the adults are kind of discovering themselves, because now they don't have to totally every second of the day take care of little Augie. They can kind of go on their own path. I love that this film is not told in a complete conventional way. I felt like the first half was told in an non-conventional way, and then the rest of it kind of tackles down in the more predictable route. That I still love the characters. I just wish I wish the first half was like the entire film, because we get perspectives from Augie and his sister Val, who's played by a young actress named Isabella Vidovic. I don't know if I've seen her before. I loved her character as I think it was Val or Via. Sorry, Via. She just was so likable and so interesting, and she actually gets to share the movie with some of the other cast members. And then we get to see other perspective throughout the film that I don't really want to spoil in this review. And I imagine since this was based on a book, there's probably more detail and more insight from the perspective of the other characters in this film, and I really liked that. And I felt it was really strong in the first half, not so much in the second half, though I do like the movie kind of ties it up and how it ends and everything. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but the movie is rated PG. It's a film that the family can enjoy and learn from and grow from, and the parents can learn something, and the kids can learn something, and I think we can all relate to, because we were all young once, and we all had to deal with growing up in some interesting and a more usual way, but in this case, he has a more unusual experience because of his condition. But it doesn't let that condition get the best of him, and I really like that. I love that. Overall, I love the film, even though I do have some issues from here to there. But overall, I really enjoyed this film and touched many times. Excuse me, I burped. Wipe away a few tears. Sorry for burping. I did not burp during this movie, but I did wipe away a few tears as I was watching the film. It was just a very moving film, and I liked. I wish there was more of Mandy Patinkin, who plays the principal. I thought his character was really interesting. I wish there was more from the bully side and their perspective. We get a little bit of that, but not much. And I feel like maybe in the book there was more of it from the bullies' perspective and why they are the bullies, you know. And I thought that it was nice to get to touch upon that a little bit. But overall, I think they do shy away from that, because there's a lot going on in this film, in a 2-hour film. And I appreciate that they didn't tell it in the most predictable way. They really tried to challenge the audience, at the same time entertain them and make you feel good, make you walk away from... I walked away from the theater feeling great, feeling wonderful, and feeling happy. And I really appreciate it. It was just a nice change of pace, again, from all the great stuff that I love, the big stuff, the small stuff, and all that stuff, the depressing stuff, the more challenging stuff, or the more stuff that just deals with fantasy. I like all that, but it was nice to take a break from all of that and see something that just warms your heart, makes you feel good inside, and something that you can share with others, and something a movie that I would definitely watch over and over and over again. I like stories like this, because as a kid, even though I didn't have to go through what Augie goes through, I had to wear glasses at 5 years old and was teased all through middle school and elementary school and a little bit of high school until I got out in the world and finally found my true calling, which of course is not this, but whatever. Anyways, I really did enjoy this film. It does have some problems throughout the film. There's more stronger moments in the movie than there are weaker moments of the film. So overall, this is just a wonderful film that I would highly recommend to everyone. I think this just is a really great film and very special. And surprisingly, I have seen, of course, The Last Jedi. I have seen Star Wars, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this kid is really into space, and he's really into a lot of things that kids are into at that time. And of course, a lot of kids grow up and they're still into this stuff. But he loves Star Wars. And yes, I have seen Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and I haven't really done an official review for it. I hope to do a review for it, but I have to see the movie again, because if you've seen the videos that two videos that I produced before this video, I did have a terrible experience watching The Last Jedi thanks to Regal Movies. And so I feel like I want to see the movie one more time before I give an official review. So we'll see if that happens. But I bring that up because I feel like Wonder, even though this is not really a review of The Last Jedi, but it does show off some of my feelings of The Last Jedi, I feel like Wonder is the best Star Wars movie of 2017. And I say that because Augie loves Star Wars, and a few times, I think 5 or 6 times throughout this film, they reference Star Wars. Maybe even more than that. And I felt like this movie has more respect and love and appreciation for Star Wars than The Last Jedi did, in my opinion. So I feel like Wonder, surprisingly, was more true to Star Wars than The Last Jedi was. There you go. That is my review overall of Wonder. In the comment box below, let me know what you think of this wonderful film. Hopefully you enjoyed it, maybe more than I did. Let me know. I really want to hear your opinion. And my rating for Wonder, this new film directed by Stephen Chomsky, starring Jacob Tremblay, Owen Wilson, what's her name, Elizabeth Vidovic, and Julia Roberts. I'm going to give this film a solid 3.5 stars out of 4.